Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CCS Sidelines Sports Network Invitational presented by the Collegiate Conference Series in partnership with Sidelines Sports Network. I'm joined with co-host Wolfie Too Hot. We got the fifth place game, San Diego State taking on the Huskies of Connecticut here in our second game of the night.
Yes, it's second game of the night, and we got to see this team here yesterday. But Azap on the other side of the pitch here for San Diego State. That's a player that when you look at some of the pro scene, one that many feel he has an inkling to really make something special out of himself. When you have that type of talent, you have to feel confident. But yesterday Cap played well for UConn, saw himself get some big plays, and the teamwork really came out here for the Huskies. But it should be interesting. I think for our second match of the day, Nation, I think the people at home have an exciting one to really look forward to.
I agree, man. I think this could be close. We'll see how UConn open things up. But let's go and get down to the field, though. You guys are ready to go for game number one. UConn takes on the Aztecs of San Diego State. They're heavy favorites coming in. SCSU had a rough start last night in the first round. Was picked off by Arizona State in straight sets. Bounced back with a win over FAU in 3 straight games. But we'll see how things go tonight for both sides.
And in this first game, I'm really interested to just see. We saw UConn a little bit, but it's my first time seeing San Diego State. I'm expecting some high power offense from this team, and more importantly, see how AZAP really plays with this squad. And one thing about CRL, you always talk about RLCS. We always talk about, can these players get it going? And that's the way to get things going here. San Diego State get themselves on the board first.
19 seconds in Aquino will find the first of the night. Aztecs just again 19 seconds, a quick response, and on the pre-show you want to see high-powered offense. You're getting it early here in game one.
Well, what I was thinking too is AZAP going to be the main contender. He's going to be the person really setting the San Diego State team apart. But no, early on, showing that the rest of this team is ready for a hard grind. That one will just be 50 here towards mid. Will be put onto the UConn side. AZAP won't be able to find too much as the defense able to come up big.
Santos, a newcomer. Aztecs, here's a freshman at San Diego State University. And it's been cool to watch him compete last fall. Now here in the spring, we'll see how he can do this season. Again, last season, the Aztecs saw a very early exit in the championship tournament. An opportunity there goes Araya. A huge chance early for the Huskies.
Yeah, that's the type of chance that you really need to be able to take forward here against San Diego State. One that they're going to have to say cold fish mentality will work on continued forward. But UConn, in a big moment, almost being able to tie things up. And Lamb says, give him a second. That one going to be able to knot it all up.
345, and you said last night Lamb stands for look at me. He's got the first of the game, 1:15 into this one, and get the Huskies started.
Yeah, I think for the Huskies, they just needed to see one go through the net here. And this is a team that plays so well with the confidence. We saw yesterday, once this team got going, they really got going. And I feel for themselves, once they get one, they're going to be able to continue on. They understand it now. They understand what this offense needs to do. Is a big demo there. Going to take one out of the back line. Noah trying to get it off here for the Huskies. One touch. Needs to try to get back. Azap trying to get back to 1v1 main. But Cap says, welcome to threes. Bottom right. That's going to take the lead.
UConn Huskies, they lead by 3:25 to go. At 2-0 run opens up for UConn. Will be a solid first half for the Husky offense.
Yeah, I didn't expect this from the Huskies. When I was very impressed on what UConn was able to do yesterday. But when I was looking at just rosters in terms of just name potential, I said right when I saw AZAP Patos, I was like, all right, he has his walking shoes on here tonight, and I think he just said, I'm gonna go for a quick run. But Lamb says, I'm on the Lamb, trying to catch me. 2-goal lead, UConn coming up huge here.
A 3-0 run for the Huskies. Lamb has yet another goal for UConn here. 3:13 in Connecticut. Very early established lead here in game one.
And this is, I wouldn't say surprising, but maybe San Diego State maybe just needed some time here in game number one to really get themselves adjusted. But UConn, they're saying, hey, we want to be able to get the 5th seed. Top 5 is no slouch whatsoever. This squad trying to see themselves knock that through, but they have some time here. I think for San Diego State, still 3 minutes left in this game. It's looking like UConn's unstoppable. Cap trying to put a lid on this one.
A 4-1 run for UConn, 252, 4 straight unanswered goals, and Cap's got another Wolfie. What a turn of events. Game one, we're not even halfway through. UConn now 4 in pro.
It just feels like San Diego State just is a bit lost out there right now. The offense for UConn is just penetrating on through at almost every waking moment here so far. This offense in game number 1 says, hey, we don't need too much time. We know what we need to do to get better and to be able to get ourselves a win. But we'll see how the adjustment period as this shot will go awry. Noah trying to get back quickly. He's able to put on his running shoes there as that's going to be cleared on back onto the UConn side.
Halftime finally hits. Game 1, the Huskies beat it by 3 as the Aztecs trail 3 here at Wolfing. What's exactly gone wrong first half for San Diego?
I just feel San Diego State, they just seem that they're just running on empty. Lamb right now putting another big shot on, but the defense right now, the double commit, there's no communication, and being put onto the back line there, I think Keno felt that there might have been a clear he could have been able to grab up forward, but because no one's there in the back line, has to make a diving save and just making things difficult. They haven't made the game easy for themselves whatsoever. They've been struggling a bit, but we'll see if that changes at all.
Yeah, Lamb's got a hat trick here for UConn, so for SCS, you have to limit early chances UConn are creating because they've already scored 5 times, still 2 minutes to go in this one, so they're probably on pace for about 8-9 goals at this time. But in game 1, they're going to adjust some score after game 1 comes to a close here. SCSU's got to find a way to create opportunities offensively, find those efficient down the stretch on their offense.
And I think UConn as well. This is a team that's been tested throughout this weekend. They've had to play some heavy hitters, and I think they just weren't going to be in a moment where, like, hey, we're going to flinch here. They went and had a tough game against Ohio State, a 3-2 game, and I feel this team has seen some of the best competition they can. And against San Diego State, they're saying, hey, this isn't new to us. We're ready for the action, and we're really showing it.
Champion SCSU country, but they already fell last night, so that rank will come down on tomorrow night's Week 1 rankings. But minute 10 to go. SCSU is still a ranked squad. UConn has received some votes. It's still a high-level game in the CCS tool this Week 1. I'm sure both these tournament time in April will be miles better than what we're seeing tonight.
Oh, we said it yesterday. This is where these teams are, but not where these teams are gonna be towards the back end of it. And with the season on the line, especially when you get to grow, you get to watch replays. It only is up from here. But I think San Diego State, they don't want to talk about participation trophies right now. They want to talk about victories and championships. And this team, at the very least, wants to be able to say, hey, we took it to UConn, but in game number 1, UConn took it to them and say, hey, we are in here for a battle. Get ready to put the gloves on. It's the final 30 seconds here in game number 1.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
100%.
Sort of that. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. No matter what happened, games 2 through 4 or 5, if we go that far, whatever. I mean, again, UConn has had a solid start, but things are still a long way to go for the UConn Huskies to pull off a stunning upset. Or not.
And this is kind of where, before that first goal, I was talking about how is Azek going to be able to play with the other two teammates, him used to a certain level of players. And the reason I say this, I saw this firsthand a couple years ago, maybe 2. Slayer came and played on the Godspeed Academy team. And so Slayer's a great player in himself. And I could see the difference. I just couldn't find a rhythm with these players so far. I haven't really found my niche. I'm thinking they're going to do one thing, unable to do a certain thing. So maybe that's what's going on here for San Diego State. AZAP still grabbing the MVP for them sides, but a lot's going to have to change here in game number 2. San Diego State does not have enough time, I feel, right now to throw the entire game plan out the door. They're just going to have to say we have to adjust on the fly.
It's a little, it's week 1. I don't know if learning right term to use situation where SCS might fall to 1 and 2 before the conference play begins next week. But again, for me, I'm curious. They had a really slow start last night, too. They got to find a way to turn this for them around and get things going in the right direction for the conference play begins next.
And game number 1 is not always the biggest deciding factor. They could have just came out here and say, let's not try to show too much. Let's not try to show our hand. Let's try to see what UConn's going to come out with and see what we can get away with. But after that one, that's going to be a tough own goal there. Took 2 from the side of the boys in red, but UConn getting the full benefit.
6-0 UConn and Ryan Wolpe. That's 6 in a row for the UConn Huskies. I know that one was an own goal, but it still does count for a UConn goal with 5 seconds down 1-0 favors the Huskies.
And it's just growing pains, for the freshmen right now. And when you get to put onto a new team and you're trying to represent your school, it takes some time. Not everybody can just get right into the saddle and just say, hey, we're dominating at the very start of it. AZAP right now trying to show that he can, but we still need to see a lot right now. And I'm not trying to paint the picture that where San Diego State is out of here. We knew they were the favorites coming into it. They just look a bit lost right now.
I would agree. I think the offense still will take its time to adjust here, and I think game 2 will be at least a better game for SCSC. They're not going to let UConn score 5 times again, imagine. But again, another slow start. They gave up an own goal that probably none they really shouldn't be doing. But still early on in game 2, 1 minute down. The offense 4 minutes to work with here down the stretch.
Yeah, and I think San Diego State is getting tested quite a bit. They had a tough game against Arizona State, 3-0 there. They saw themselves do a great job against Florida Atlantic, but it's a grind here in the CCS. You have some of the best here in the college scene, and this is what makes champions so great. And this is only the 5 and 6 seed, and we have so much talent already on the pitch.
40 a pre-jumping cap, couldn't find connection there, but that was almost a beautiful opportunity for UConn, and a minute and a half off the clock, and SCS starting a little risky, taking half-field pre-jumps, trying to find contact, and both, again, 90 seconds into this one, SCSU still unable to find any rhythm here.
No, not whatsoever, and UConn just looks comfortable. We saw that pre-jump earlier on. Their comms are at a big all-time high right now. They're feeling comfortable with each other, and that's just the difference. A team that's been with each other for a while seems to have a solid game plan. But Lamb right now trying to continue showing off. Noah can't see too much. Caps it through, and that's going to go on for 2. 2 for 2. Shooting 100% here in this one.
On again on the board. A 7-0 run for the UConn Huskies. SCSU, you got to break through. You have to stop the bleeding. 7 in a row for UConn, and SCSU, nothing in response.
And it is tough just watching right now because you're seeing just San Diego State kind of just flounder a little bit. They're flopping a bit, and it just doesn't seem like it's gotten any better for them. We haven't seen any silver lining. Cap able to just get an extra touch to ward it off from the defense. UConn right now is saying 5 doesn't feel too bad, but they want game number 2 first.
Now an 8-0 run, 2:48 to go, 8 in a row for the Huskies of Connecticut, and this is starting to get a little concerning.
It is. It's getting out of hand already, and our only issue is that we haven't seen any positivity from San Diego State so far. They have just been, if I could say it, asleep for the very least. Just they're lackadaisical. They're kind of going half-hearted for some of these plays right now. They have to find a way to believe right now, and it takes a goal. But Noah, you're not going to let them get there so quickly.
9 in a row, 2:25 to go, and last game SDSU led 1-0, and then UConn struck 5 in a row, and then now they've got 4 straight unanswered. That's 9 total without a single Aztec goal.
I think you said earlier too. I don't see they win 5-1 surely, but maybe you're downplaying the goals there. It might continue on if this team is playing at this pace, but it just seems that San Diego State is a step behind right now. We'll see if this defense can get a little better. It's Cap unable to put that one through. That one, if he gets a touch, might see the back of the net. UConn, the Huskies, trying to sniff this one now. Bottom right corner, enough to get it. Cap puts the 5th goal here for UConn. It's
now double digits, 10-0 run for UConn, and 2 minutes to go. This is incredible. If you're UConn here, this is a win that really could track well to April, but again, SCSU, if they don't get their stuff together soon, their conference play could go really bad. They could miss a tournament altogether.
Yeah, and this is where I feel league play is going to benefit this team quite a bit. You need to just have games to be able to go out there and play, and we know it's how different it is, especially in league settings than your traditional just online tournaments, your one weeklies or your ability just to play a rank. Being able to be in these moments on stream, knowing that it's for your record, they have to be able to feel this, especially when we have young talents on San Diego State. They're not the veteran experience that they wish they had. Yes, they have the players for it, but a different stage, a different light, and UConn shows that they're more prepared for it right now.
5 stars and find a freshman guys with a lot of experience and Final Four run just to go last spring. So that's what it takes to make a run here in the Collegiate Conference. But again, our teams have come in since then, have gotten way better, and this is almost another own goal. But again, it's a 10-0 UConn to run at the moment.
And with the final 60 seconds here, I'm just looking for one right now. San Diego State needs to have something to go back on and watch the replays for and say, hey, look, we did this right now. We need to find a way to be better on the off ball. And Aquino, that's going to go for the first one. Similar score as our last game, but can they find a way to get it off a kickoff now? And look at that. Make it easy. Just coming out of net, small little touch, redirect right back in. Boom, bang, we're on the board.
Finally break a 10 straight unanswered run for UConn to at least get one here, Wolfie. That's got to be at least one of a somewhat positive start. Maybe going into game 3 for SCS.
Yeah, and like we said, we just need one. And that for themselves saying, all right, we've been working extremely hard on the offense to be able just to get one. And it's just a bit of a silver lining for this game. You still have one more to be able to come in here and say, hey, we have some time to allow ourselves to just continue trying to put on good film. No matter what happens here, we just need to continue putting our best effort through. But UConn showing they're playing to the last couple seconds, trying to see if they can notch one more here before the end of regulation.
8 to play. This clock will tick down. UConn will lead the series 2-0. Wolfie in stunning fashion with a 10-2 aggregate score.
Yeah, yes, UConn and UConn right now, they have been all over it. And Cap, he seems like a player. Yesterday we were talking a lot about Noah and how Noah kind of leads the charge a lot on the offensive side, but I don't know if it's just his weekend, but he has just been playing phenomenally. Look at this, 4 goals, only 3 shots, Nation. He doesn't need a 4th shot to be able to put another one on.
He also got credit for the own goal.
Yes, exactly.
That is the difference, but I mean, that's just it's stuff you can't have at this point for FCS. You can't own goal.
Mm-hmm.
Series like this. And yesterday, game 1, UConn actually led Ohio State 4-1, like a minute and a half left. They owned goal 3 times and lost in overtime. So
sometimes
UConn
just not your
knows
night.
how it feels. To own goal, it costs you mistakes like that. But now UConn has got to feel really, really good about how the first 10 minutes of this one have gone.
And I think for this next match, as easy as it is to say, you need to find a way for San Diego State to have some sort of lead. Give yourself some terms of a breather to say, all right, boys, we have this lead. Let's just play great defense. We've been able to have little moments where we're stopping the offense from UConn. Hasn't been too often, but let's put ourselves on the board and be able to work on up instead of having to punch right back into contention.
SCS are playing a little slower and slowing things down offensively. So that could very well for the Aztecs. We'll see how things shape up and how their defense does through the last 5 minutes. UConn comes out on top here, but things have to change at this point. As now you can't afford one more loss. You have nothing left to give for SCSU.
Yeah, all or nothing now. San Diego State trying to see themselves keep their tournament alive, at least a chance to continue on this series. And I feel for this one, time's going to be a big factor. You're seeing the pace of play, 60 seconds already off the board, where I believe in the last couple games we saw around 1 or 2 goals by this time. So I think UConn might be just playing the portion of saying, hey, let's make San Diego State make mistakes. Let's allow ourselves and not try to overexert ourselves. Let them come to us in moments and be able to put ourselves in a position to just have easy goals.
Wide there. After the 50, Lamb rebound will go through 1-0, and 5 stars completely caught out. A minute and a half off the clock, and Wolfie, UConn up front again.
Yeah, I said easy goals. Lamb didn't have to work too hard, just bangs it through. No one really in net to be able to contest it. 3's on the score there on the time sheet, but 1 on the board. And now for UConn. Now it's just a keep away game. They're just trying to see time expire.
Just wide rebound will go. Aquino equalizes very quickly. That's a huge goal for SCSU.
We've been waiting to see these types of assists. What a job there. Only 1 man back. They knew it with no boost. Exactly the type of position you want to put into. Do we have a ball game? But at least we have a tie.
Got a ball game in game 3. Does have 2 games in their back pocket already won, so game 3 does go south. They're still A-OK, Wolfie, as they have that massive lead. Games 1 and 2.
So how do you feel if San Diego State, they take this game? If they're able just to make it a 1-2 game, are you saying they're back? Or would you say the entire series has now changed knowing if they win a game here in this series?
Had a couple of close calls of the first week on stream this season. Nothing has been fully complete yet. And I think for me, and I watch reverse sweep attempts that are successful, most of the time it comes because they have a very dominant game 3 or game 4. That's what turns the tides. FCSU kind of win merely by 1 or 2, and it still only wins game to win. It's not like UConn got blown out. SCSU needs, in quotes, their game to take over and readjust and shift the momentum.
Well, will they get their game? UConn is hoping that doesn't become a reality. But the people at home, make sure to go into chat. Let us know what you all feel is going to happen. AZAP trying to clear some away. Cap right back on. Steals it away and throws it right back in. The equalizer has been taken off as this one, the second one for the boys in blue.
UConn again on top. We'll see how long this lead will hold. Wolfie is last lead, it didn't hold all that long. UConn is very quickly to giving up a goal to ASAP and 5 stars off the pass, so we'll see what happens here. It's going to be 2 dead for the Huskies of Connecticut. 2-minute warning. Game 3, SCSU must score in the last 2 minutes.
And I'm just surprised we haven't just seen more of ASAP throwing out this game. And, such a great player, but so far it's just been a bit quiet. He's trying to see if he can make some more noise. There's 2 seniors trying to show the mantle on how it's done.
I mean, again, I'd like to see that take over. I mean, I feel like he's sort of established himself in a lot of these series. Oh, okay, there's a flick shot. ASAP got to attack it. 143 called your name, Wolfie, and he responded.
He says, give me a second, Wolfie. I'm cooking. I need some time before my debut goal. That one and this one. Got to be able to go through. And, it's so crazy knowing that he's a freshman. I remember watching him throughout weeklies, throughout the last couple of years, throughout RLC. And this is just a player that so many people had a lot of big hopes for. I remember back when him and Cosmic were going to come in. That was a deal everyone really looked at. But, nope, the college freshman showing that, hey, we're all getting old, but my skills continue to get better.
Freshman. First, yep. California, running up north and towards Connecticut. Schools very far apart from one another.
But this one towards midfield. We'll just go for a back pass into a corner here. Dangerous spot potentially, but we'll get a long clear. 5 stars. Tassa trying to clear this one off his goal as this one's 60 seconds left into it. Can this end in regulation, or will we see OT? No, he won't. Look at me. Lamb sees the back of the net for the 3rd goal for UConn.
53 to go. SDSU a little bit in trouble here, Wolfie. 53 is not a lot of time to work with. If you're Aztecs, you need something quickly off the kickoff and give your offense some firepower. Game within reach. Seconds go here in game number 4, SC3. San Diego State still just nothing in response. A couple of give and goes that have been cut off, and now UConn have just dominated start to finish. Wolfie, what a performance! Who's you? We might have lost Wolfie chat. 15 though to go on the clock. SCSU trail by 1. 10 to play. Second Huskies. Moments away from a stunning upset of 15th ranked San Diego State University. As long as this ball is killed, and that it will be, UConn pull off a 3-0 win. Might have lost.
Well, so I'm back, but unfortunately my game crashed. But well, I'm rebooting as we speak. But Nation, did you just call the game? Did UConn just
over?
Yeah, UConn just took it.
On 3-0, the final. They've stunned San Diego State Aztecs.
I think my game was saying, Wolfie, just close your eyes. You don't want to want to see this. UConn's putting an absolute massacre on display, and they played well in the first 2 games. The third game, I feel San Diego State, they found ways to really get back into rhythm. They played some great Rocket League, but UConn just came with the juicier tonight. They said, we're bottled up, we're ready, we're carbonated, and they fizzed their way all the way to a huge win to get the 5th seed.
They take home 5th place. Sidelines Sports Invitational, but it's Invitational Wolf. You're going to go to break. When we come back, 3rd place game between the Volunteers of Tennessee take on Ohio State, the Buckeyes, who just won the FBS College Football National Championship. Back after the break.